Hey everybody, I think we're going to try another close-up here. I'm hoping. Yesterday's close-up ended a little abruptly, I know. Oh, hi. You're very excited about it. Oh, you don't have to start yelling at me though. Okay, well, that's fine then. Looks like I accidentally shook everybody up. Hi, buddy. We got a lot of eyes open today. It's amazing how quickly things are changing around here. So I thought we'd just do a little close-up so that we could get a close look at everybody, literally. And then I won't even try to go downstairs today, considering how that worked out yesterday. Our little orange boy keeps running around this box. Well, let's start with, let's get some weights. Actually, maybe start and finish with get some weights, but that's, that's what we're going to do. And either one of the, somebody's got access, maybe able to put that in the spreadsheet for us, or else I can get the weights from somebody afterwards. Our control donkey still weighs 2.0. Okay, good. That just tells us that gravity hasn't changed in the last 24 hours, which is important to know. And then I guess, well, if we're going to go in order, we can start with little Ramekin over here since Spatula is all hooked up at the moment. Now, I've checked a couple times, and now DJ's on board with the idea that everybody except for our little orange boy is probably a girl. It's still hard to say for 100% certainty, but that's our current theory, and we're going to stick with it until something comes along to change that opinion. So this is Ramekin, the girl, and you're going to hear me call them he and boy and stuff probably quite a bit before I get it together. But this is Ramekin, who we believe is a girl. Little sweetheart. And let's put her right in here. All right, 9.8 looks like. Pretty solid, 9.8. That's a good weight, isn't it? And you're almost getting too big for that bowl. We're going to have to get the regular scale out. I know. Okay. Show us your little eyes. They're not quite all the way open. She's just starting, so as usual, oops, there we go. As usual, they kind of open from the inside corners first, and then probably by tomorrow they'll be all the way open. And yeah, she looks very floofy right now. She's probably a short-haired kitten, though. They all go through this stage where their fur kind of outgrows the rest of them for a little while. I don't know if she's going to be a floof. She could be, though. Who knows? So that's little Ramekin. All right. So next up is, Spatula, giving us a big yawn there. I hope the camera caught some of that. So this is Spatula. She was the first one to have her eyes open, and she's looking very big-eyed this morning. Yes. And she doesn't have any sort of white markings on her whatsoever. She's an entirely black little kitten there. We'll put her in the bowl. This morning she weighs 7.7. That's little Spatula. Spatch. Hi, Spatchy. Okay. All right. Let me take a quick look at you over here, too. Those are some eyes you got. I know you got a couple little eye goobers, but that's okay. That's pretty normal. You're just figuring out how all that stuff works anyway. So that would bring us to, I guess, Teaspoon, the little golden boy. And he gained so much weight yesterday on his own. It was very impressive. We'll see if he's kept it up overnight. Oh, big winks. Look at that. He's got his eyes all the way open today, too. And he looks kind of bug-eyed, like kind of an old man look, or maybe some sort of weird alien. I think he looks like some kind of old man, though. Let's put him in there. Reminds me of Ant. 5.3. Sounds like pretty good gains if he keeps it up. We'll see. I'm hoping I don't have to keep giving him feedings. He's been pretty successful lately. I'll have to check that against his old weight, though, and if I need to, I'll keep feeding him. We'll see. Hi, buddy. I know, you get so squirmy, but I know you also love to see me. He's the one that, when he notices me, he kind of gets up and runs around. I think he's trying to run towards me, but he doesn't always head in the right direction. So this is the only boy in the class, we think. The boy. Little Spatula. Not Spatula. Nope, Teaspoon. His name is Teaspoon. Sorry. Okay, yeah, but he's got a lot to yell about right now. I know. Okay, we'll put you right back in there. Why don't you go back to nursing, buddy? You could have some better gains. There you go. He's still doing that thing where he does an awful lot of Stevie Wondering, but just before I started the close-up, if you were watching on the regular live stream, he was definitely nursing. He had his little ears going. Sometimes when they get really into nursing, their little ears wiggles. They're developing those muscles, and it's kind of connected. They'll flap their ears like they're going to fly away, and he was really doing that. It was pretty funny. I guess you had to be there. Okay. So next up is Goblet. Goblet is the one that's almost always got her tongue out. She's a little girl. And she's got, I guess, too much tongue for her head because she's constantly blepping. Just laying around with her tongue out. It's very cute. She's got a lot to say about this. And as you can see, her eyes are also most of the way open. I'd say about 3/4. Maybe just 2/3. She's got a lot to say about it, though. Put her right in there. She weighs 9.6 today. I don't know if you can read that, but it says 9.6. Hi, what are we looking at? Hi, you were looking this way. You want to look this way for everybody? There you go. Now you don't have to yell about it. You just don't like to be picked up right now, huh? We'll get you over that. Oh no, just the alarm going off. There you go. All right. She had what seemed like her like a tangle in her fur on her belly yesterday, and I was kind of picking at it a little bit to see what it was, and it turns out it was just a scab over her belly button. And I only mentioned that in case you saw a little bit of pink there at her belly button. That's fine. It's nothing. It's just that I accidentally pulled off what turned out to be a scab there. So, hi, cutie pie. Hi. Okay, so that is, I'm sorry, I don't know what I said her name is, but it's Goblet. So that's Goblet. Am I calling everybody Spatula today? Okay, Goblet, that's pretty loud. And then that leaves us with just one kitten, this one right here, I think, Spork. Hi, Spork. Spork is also, very similar to Spatula, of course, but has a bunch of white, including white gloves and a white undercarriage, I guess. And, of course, that white spot on her chin lip that's going to end up being really cute as she gets older, I think. So that is Spork. All right, Spork, have a seat right there while we weigh you. 8.0. Sounds like a pretty good weight to me. There we go. I saw, Melissa, Goblet is almost twice the size of Teaspoon. Is that size difference common? Yeah, I've talked about this in the last couple of close-ups. First off, it is common. There's usually one kitten that's smaller, and sometimes a lot smaller if you compare them to the biggest kitten. So it's not unusual at all. We've seen that a lot of times. But it's also the fact that two kittens that are born from the same litter at the same time can be from two different dads and have sort of two different ages as a result, So it's entirely possible that little Teaspoon here may have been conceived, a few days later than the rest of the gang, and that would also account for why he's so much smaller than they are and why he stands out so much in the family photo. Sort of the black sheep of the family, I guess. That's possible. I mean, we don't have any way of knowing, if we had cheap genetic tests or something, I guess we could satisfy that curiosity, but it doesn't really mean anything. He's healthy and we're all happy about it, so that's all that really matters. And sweet, of course. And their mom is Nibbles. That's Nibbles there. Just having a look at us. She is also a sweet, sweet kitty. And not much more than a kitten herself. She's probably about 1.5 years old, so very young mother. But this is the last time that she's going to have little babies because we'll make sure that she gets fixed before she gets adopted out. Hi, okay, so that one's Spatula. Hi, Spatch. Okay. That's Spatula, and that one's Spork. You can tell by the feet. Oh. What's the matter? Your tongue's out again. Just a little bit out right now. It's usually out more than that. That's Goblet. You can tell by the tongue and by the way that she is. Oh, okay. Buried. Help, save me. One paw sticking out. There you are. Hi. Aw. Well, with the weighing done and everybody nursing, we're basically done here. But as long as somebody's looking this direction, we can keep filming for a bit and see some more little close-up kitten. It's only one kitten right now. It's hanging out with us instead of nursing. Hi. Hi. Oh, hi, yes. Kittens have this reflex where if you pet the top of their head, they try to hold it up and sort of press against you. And so petting the top of their head can sometimes get them to give you a good angle for a picture. Of course, when you have such a tiny new body and such a giant head, it is hard to lift. Hi, tiny Goblet. I guess some people are calling her Goblet because she's constantly got her tongue out a little bit. What are you looking at out here? Seeing everything for the first time? Eyes aren't even all the way open yet. Your tongue's still out just a tiny bit though, isn't it? I know, they gave you too much tongue for the rest of you. So, sorry about yesterday's little close-up ending abruptly, like I said. The kittens downstairs, though, they're doing fine, and if you want to keep an eye on them, you can watch the regular Kitten Academy live stream for now. I keep saying yesterday. Was it yesterday? I know I went to the dentist yesterday, and I can't remember if I did that close-up before that or if it was the day before. I've lost all track of time. We'll figure it out, though. After this close-up, I'll check the weight chart and compare those weights. And if I decide anybody's a little bit light, we can give them some supplemental feedings. I had someone ask me recently why we use the tube for feeding instead of a bottle for feeding. And I even had someone very nice send us some extra bottles to try, which I appreciate. I don't mind trying new things once in a while. But I thought it was a good question about why do we use the tube instead of the bottle. And I'll tell you, there's a few reasons. One is that it's easier and faster. You don't have to sort of wait for the kitten to decide that it wants to nurse and kind of encourage it to take the bottle in the first place. You can just put the tube in and give them the food. It's also easier to control how much food they get because you decide instead of them deciding, which is nice. But I think the biggest reason is sort of peace of mind. It is, in fact, in my opinion, it's safer to use the tube. You don't risk them not swallowing all the milk and maybe coughing some up into their nose or something and getting a little aspirated. So with the tube, that has never happened. Not to say it couldn't happen if you overfed, but we're real careful not to do that. So that is why. Also, another important reason is, of course, that once kittens nurse on a real mom, I very rarely get them to accept nursing on a bottle, which is why I think some people send us some new bottles to try. We've always tried the Miracle Nipple. We've had that for a long time, and it doesn't seem to to work that way for us. You know, if they've nursed on mom, they don't see the miracle nipple as something to nurse on. But like I said, there's some new stuff for us to try, so maybe we'll give that a shot if any of these guys need food today. Just for fun, I always do like trying out new things. Anything that makes my life easier, that makes the kittens happier is always good. But in general, we stick to the tube feeding, and I do think it's a great skill. Anybody that fosters young neonatal kittens that still need milk should definitely learn how to do it. It's not hard, it's not scary, and like I said, I feel like it's much safer. And I always owe some thanks to Sarah Donner for that. If you look her up, she also fosters kittens. They have a little video that teaches people how to do the tube feeding, and she's the one that told me that it's a skill that she wishes she'd learned earlier in her fostering. So that was what encouraged me to learn it. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks so much for joining me this morning for these cute kittens. If you want to just keep on watching them, there's plenty of cameras here. There's this, there's that. There's cameras all around pointed directly at these kittens, and all you have to do is tune into the Kitten Academy live stream here on YouTube. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. So thanks so much, and I will see all of you over there, I suppose. We'll end on an owl.